All right. So we saw different drivers over here. Okay, what is Chrome driver, Firefox driver, and Edge driver? Okay. Now, since each driver is we have instantiated each driver separately over here. Okay. Now the thing is, what if we have to write a single script in which, a single script can work either on Firefox or on Chrome, okay, or on Edge, right? What I mean to say is that I'll continue in date 2, or what I'll do is that I'll make a new Java project known as Selenium commands, and I'll add the jar files in this project. So instead of making a new project every day, I'll just use one project. And inside the source folder, I'll make a new package known as day3. Package is like a folder inside the folder. Okay, this is the source folder. Under it, I've made another package. Package means a folder inside the source folder. Okay, and I will make a new class known as dynamic browsers. Okay, what I mean to say is that we generally write a code like this. That is, we take the browser name and whatever script you write after that, this particular script will be executing on that particular browser. Okay, so suppose if I write over here Mozilla, then the script will execute on Mozilla browser. Chrome, then script will execute on Chrome. So how do we implement it? A general sense says that fine, you can keep if else statements. That is, if the browser is equal to Chrome, in that case, you can write the code which we wrote yesterday. That is, you can instantiate Chrome driver. You can create the object of Chrome driver and take it to yahoo.com. Okay, then put an else statement, else if the browser is equal to I, Internet Explorer, or Mozilla, anything, right? So you can put this code for Mozilla which we had made yesterday. That is, first you set the system property for Gecko driver, you initiate Firefox driver, and then you take Firefox driver to yahoo.com. Fine. And similarly for the edge, you can write else if the browser is Edge, then, but is this the right way? Suppose after going to yahoo.com, I have to print the title of the page. Okay, so generally the command to print the title is chrome driver dot get title. This command will give you the title of the web page. Okay, in case of Firefox driver, if you want to print, you will have to write Firefox driver dot get title. And in case of Edge driver, you will have to write Edge driver dot get title. Although this will work, Okay, if I run this code, Mozilla will open up and it will go to yahoo.com. This thing will work, but it doesn't look practical. Okay, because you see Firefox is opening, right? Because if you have to click on a link in say Chrome, you will have to write. You see that it is going to Firefox, right? You see that this prints the title of the page, right? So if you have to click on a link on Chrome, you will have to write the code to click on Chrome. Then to click on Mozilla, you will have to write the code over here, and Edge, you will have to write the code over here. Now this is not something which is comfortable. Okay, so practically I am giving the browser name over here, but I'm writing script for every browser separately. So this is not the solution. The solution to this problem comes up with the help of interfaces. Okay, let me tell you in Java what interfaces are, and then I will tell you how they are used in Selenium to solve this problem. Okay, on day 3, I will right click and I will create a new interface, not a class, but in this package, I'm going to create an interface. Now, what is an interface? Okay, let me just uh, create an interface like machine. So interface is something which gives an idea about the system. Okay, for example, you go to the restaurant and you have an a la carte menu over there. So just looking at the menu, you understand that fine what this restaurant is offering you, but how exactly it is made and whether it will be for you or not, you really don't know. Okay. Or for example, this is yahoo.com. This is the interface for the Yahoo website. Looking at this interface, you can say that fine, this website is something to do with maybe current affairs and news and some, uh, you know, finance thing, lifestyle, right? But you really don't know how the data is coming on this website and what really will open if you click on the link on the top over here, movies. So you really don't know the internal working, but yes, you are able to judge that this what this website is about. So interface gives you an idea. It helps you judge that what the system is about. So similarly, we have interfaces in Java which give you an idea that what the system will do. For example, this is the interface machine. So every machine has a mechanism with which it can be started, or every machine can be repaired. Okay. Or it needs a service. So we just declare the functions over here. We don't define them. In an interface, we just write the functions which can be a part of the system. Looking at this interface, any layman will understand that fine, these are the three functions which a machine is supposed to do, but he will actually not understand that how these three functions are implemented or how they actually perform the work. Okay, now interfaces are always implemented in Java. They are implemented by some class. For example, I'll make a new class known as car. Now car is practically a machine. Fine, car will have these three functions. So what we do is that we write class car implements the machine interface. So if a class is implementing an interface, it is supposed to implement all the features and functions of that particular interface. Okay, so you move the mouse over the car and select add unimplemented methods. Right. And all the three functions which are there in the machine interface will come in this particular car class. It is mandatory for a class which is implementing an interface to implement all the three functions. If I even remove one function, I will start getting an error. Okay, right. Now, what is this sign at the rate override? This sign or this is known as an annotation. This can be removed. It won't have much difference. But this basically means that this function is coming up from this interface. So if anyone looks at this code, he will understand that fine, this function comes up from this particular interface. So you can write over here car starting, car repairing, car service. Okay, so you have the car interface, car class implementing the machine interface, and it's got three functions. Now you can, what you can do is I'll just make a new class known as test machine with the main function. So obviously you can create the object of the car class over here, and you can call the three functions c dot start, c dot pair, and okay, it should be repair, not repaired. Okay. See, if I change the name of the function in interface, I change the name of this function, I start getting an error in my class as well because the function name has changed. So I'll have to change it over here as well. Okay, so you can call these three functions of the car class, right? And if I run this code, you will see that all the three things will print. So it's pretty simple what I did. Okay, what I did was that, just a minute. I made an interface. Okay, the name of the interface was machine. I had few functions in it, start, repair, and service. So I had my class car and it implemented this machine interface. Okay, it implemented this interface. So it had to implement all the functions inside the interface. Start, repair in its own way, and service. Now, why am I doing this? What am I achieving out of this? What is the logical explanation for this. I will tell you in some time. Okay. Now suppose I make another class known as say computer. So computer is also a machine. It will implement the machine interface. Okay, so you can write over here computer starting, computer repair. The function names will remain the same in both the classes, but implementation can differ. Okay. In your test machine class, you can also create object of computer class and call the functions start, repair, and service. So over here, these three functions are being called from the computer class. And if you run this, so it will print from the computer class. So basically, uh, if I go back to the diagram, I made one more class. Okay, the class was computer and it can have start, repair, and service functions. Now, what is the use of doing this? Why did I make an interface? I could have decided, you know, not to make this interface. I could have directly made these two classes. The thing is, the interface gives a structure to the system. Tomorrow, if more machine classes they come up, they will just have to implement this interface and have the functions coming up in them. Even if I have 100 machine classes, okay, all of them will implement the machine interface. And if somebody reads your code, he will just have to look at the machine interface and he will understand that what all is there in the other classes, the implementing classes. Okay, if I read the machine interface, I will say, fine, okay, car is implementing machine. Okay, then car will have, the functions which are there in the machine class. So if you go to the official documentation of Selenium, if you go to selenium.dev, in this, under Java, you will see the API docs. Okay, so you open the documentation. In this documentation, whatever is written in italics, some classes are written in italics. These are the interfaces. Okay, for example, we have the interface mouse. Mouse is an interface. Okay, and these are the functions inside the mouse interface. Click, context click, double click, mouse down, mouse move. So these functions, they they correspond to the movement or the actions of the mouse. And these are the two implementing classes, event firing mouse and remote mouse. These two classes implement the mouse interface. So just by looking at the documentation, you can say that fine, These two classes would obviously have these set of functions which can help you interact with the mouse of the web page. Okay. Similarly, if you scroll down, yesterday we had seen WebDriver. WebDriver would be written over here. Technically, WebDriver is an interface. It's an inbuilt interface in Selenium. And all the driver classes, they implement the WebDriver interface. So even if I have Chrome driver, if I have Firefox driver, if I have Edge driver, iDriver, remote web driver, we'll study this later on. So all these driver classes implement this WebDriver interface, and this WebDriver interface has got functions which can interact with the browser. For example, close will close the browser. So all these driver classes will have the function close. Or for example, we saw that whenever we have to navigate to a website, we use the function get. It loads a new web page in the current browser window. So even if I'm creating object of Chrome driver, I use Chrome driver dot get function to load a web page. If I sorry, if I create object of Firefox driver, I use Firefox driver dot get function to load a URL. If I create object of Edge driver, then again the get function. This get function is there in all the driver classes. This is because internally Selenium has been made in such a way that all the driver classes are implementing the WebDriver interface. Okay, so all the driver classes will have same set of functions. Right, for example, get title function, we saw this. This will get the title of the current web page, and we have used the get title function everywhere over here. Chrome driver.get title, Firefox driver.get title, Edge driver.get title. So one thing is for sure that if you are using an interface, then no matter how many classes they implement the interface, the names of the functions in all the classes would be the same. The implementations might vary, but the names would remain the same. And that's how, when I was using this test machine class, if I create the object of car class, I have start repair service. If I create object of computer, I have start repair service. And that's how it helps in Selenium. That is, whether you use Chrome driver or Firefox driver or Edge driver, in all the objects, the names of these functions would be the same.
Ashish,
Yes.
why didn't then you write like the class which you are using, test machine or any other classes? Then why didn't you write implements WebDriver? Because you are using the classes, you are using the methods from the WebDriver. Then why didn't you mention?
That is already there. This Chrome driver class is equivalent to car. Car is implementing the machine interface.
So here
Internally,
you
the
are writing na ki car is implementing machine, but here before using Chrome driver, Firefox driver, Edge driver, you didn't write public class dynamic browser implements WebDriver.
I don't have to write this class implements. This class Chrome driver class is internally implementing WebDriver interface. In test machine class, did I write test machine implements WebDriver? Sorry, implements machine.
No.
I'm using the car class over here, right? Car class is already implementing the WebDriver interface.
Okay,
Okay.
so you mean to say Chrome driver and they are internally implementing WebDriver?
Yes.
You don't need to write that again.
No, they are made in such a way that all these, it's written in the documentation. This is the interface WebDriver, and these are all the implementing classes.
Okay, understood.
Okay, Chrome driver, Edge driver, all these classes already internally when they were made by Selenium guys, they are already implementing the interface.
Okay, understood. Understood.
Okay. Now,
Ashish, so under WebDriver we have a lot of methods used there, right? And what happens if we don't use any one of them? You
it's
said
up to
we
you.
must,
It's up to you.
but you said that
Which one you
we
want to
must.
use? This is the car class object. I don't want to use service. That's fine.
But you said it's mandatory to use all the methods which is declared in the interface.
It is mandatory to implement. If I am implementing, this is usage.
Hmm.
This is usage. If a class is car class is implementing the machine interface, it has to give body to all the methods in the interface machine. It has to implement all of them. Internally, if Chrome driver is implementing WebDriver interface, then whatever functions are there in WebDriver interface have already been implemented by Chrome driver. Okay, all these driver classes, they have already implemented these functions.
Okay.
Okay, right. So that is why when I use the Chrome driver object, I'm able to use the functions. Or Firefox driver, I'm able to use the functions. The function names are same because they are coming from the WebDriver interface.
Okay.
Okay. Now, now one thing is clear that internally with Selenium, what is happening is that we have the WebDriver interface and all our classes, which are driver classes. Okay, whether it is Chrome driver or Firefox driver or any other Edge driver, they all are implementing this interface. This is internally built inside Selenium. So whatever functions are there inside this interface are also there inside these classes. But this thing doesn't solve our problem. Okay, our problem is of dynamic browsers. That is, if I'm giving Mozilla over here, then Mozilla should launch and do the work. If I give Chrome over here, Chrome should launch and do the work. But over here, I am repeating the code again and again. Okay, I am repeating the code again and again. For Chrome driver, I'm launching it. I'm going to yahoo.com and I'm getting the title. So how do I prevent this thing? There are two usages of interfaces. One usage is that which I have discussed. That is, whatever functions are there in the interface, they are there in the implementing classes. Okay, Chrome driver, Firefox driver, Edge driver, the names of functions would be same in all three of them. The other usage is something which I will explain you now. I'll go to this class. Now, first of all, you cannot create object of an interface. I have the interface machine. I cannot write machine m equals to new machine. This will give you an error. Okay, because obviously machine is something which is incomplete. It's an interface. It is something which just has got the function declarations. Okay, you don't have any body. So it doesn't make sense to create object of an interface. But yes, you can create a object reference. See, on the left hand side, I'm not getting any error, but on the right hand side, I'm getting an error. Okay, now I'm going to create the object of the machine of computer or car class in a little different way. Okay, so please understand this carefully. Look at this carefully. It's very simple. Just concentrate. Now suppose there is a function which is proprietary to car class, suppose GPS. Car class says that fine, I will implement the machine interface. I will implement all the functions of the machine interface. Apart from that, I would also like to have my own function, GPS. So obviously this GPS function can be accessed over here with the help of car class object. If I run this, it will print, but it won't be there in the computer class, of course. Right. Now, if I create the object of the car class like this, machine M1 equals to new car. Now, this is a little different way I am creating the object of the car class. I am writing the interface reference pointing towards object of implementing class. The reference of the interface pointing towards the class which is implementing the interface. Now, what is the difference between creating object like this and object like this? If you create object like this, you can only access the functions which are coming from the interface to the car class. I cannot write m1.gps. GPS is a proprietary function in the car class. If I create the object like this and give it the reference of the machine interface, I can only call these three functions: start, repair, and service, not the proprietary function. Okay, now what is the usage of this then? Why do we create an object like this? Because we don't have access to the proprietary function. This will get clear to you in some time. I can also write, say, like machine M2 equals to new computer. I will have access to all the computer functions. Okay, I can write, say, M2 dot start. If I run this code, it's going to print, say, computer starting. These three lines over here are coming up from here, and this line is coming up from here. So the output remains the same, but the way we have called the function is different. And what is the reason for that? Okay, what is the use of this? The use is that in the memory, what is happening? If I discuss line number 25, in the memory, object of computer is created and M2 is pointing towards that particular object. Okay, M2 is the reference of machine interface. On the next line, I can decide that fine, M2 will point towards object of the car class. Because it's the reference of the interface, it can point towards car as well. So this is the catch over here, that if you talk about this particular line, then this line means that we will create object of M2 and sorry, the car class M2 will not point over here. M2 will now point towards the object of the car class. So I can move the reference from object of one class to another class. It is something like I write int I equals to 100. But on the next line, I can also write I equals to 200, right? I can change the value of I. Right. So over here, M2 is pointing to object of computer. Over here, M2 is pointing to object of car. So if I give M2 dot start, same command over here and same command over here. The commands are same, but output would be different. Okay, this command over here will print computer starting and this command will print car starting. Because over here M2 was pointing towards computer object, over here M2 was pointing towards car object. Okay, so I can also define like this. I can write machine M3 equals to null. That means M3 is not pointing anywhere. Based on my choice, I can make M3 point towards object of computer. So after this line, whatever functions you write or call on M3 will be called from computer class. Or I can make M3 point towards object of car class. If you're not able to understand this, then you can ask me. Okay, at times people get confused in this. Okay, so M3 is pointing nowhere. It's the reference of the interface. And based on our choice, I can make it point towards computer or car. This was not possible if we would have created the object like this. The reference of car class, I cannot move it to computer. Okay, no. However, we can create individual objects of cars and computers like this. But if we create the object of the car with the reference of the interface, then I can move this reference dynamically from one.
Ashish, how it is useful in real world?
Yeah, I am coming over to that.
Okay.
Okay. The usage is we create the object of Chrome driver. Till now we have created object like this. Chrome driver equals to new Chrome driver or Firefox driver. Okay. But we can also create the object like this, like driver equals to new Chrome driver. Because WebDriver is an interface and Chrome driver is the implementing class. It is similar to this. Machine is the interface, computer is the implementing class. And maybe the driver on the next line, I can make it point towards new Firefox driver. Or it's my choice. I can make driver point towards new Edge driver. I write over here like driver.get http yahoo.com. So this will take Chrome to Yahoo because driver is now pointing towards Chrome driver. Okay. If I write driver.get to Yahoo, this will take Firefox to Yahoo because driver over here points towards Firefox. And if I write driver.get say bbc.com, then driver is pointing to Edge driver, which will take it to BBC. Okay, so I can define something like say driver equals to null. Okay, based on my choice, I can write driver equals to new Chrome driver if I want driver to point towards Chrome. Or based on my choice, I can make driver point towards Firefox as well. Okay, this is the practical usage. This will solve the problem in dynamic browsers over here. You don't have to write this code. You just declare your WebDriver globally. Okay. And in case the browser is Chrome, you launch Chrome driver. In case the browser is Mozilla, you launch or you make driver point towards Firefox driver. Or in case the browser is Edge, you make the driver point towards Edge driver, because this is the only reason is that all the three classes they implement the WebDriver interface. So interface reference I can make point towards any implementing class. And once your browser is launched, once you reach over here, so browser would be launched. Now you can fire the regular commands. If you have to go somewhere, you can write driver dot get to http bbc.com. If you have to get the title of the page, you can write driver dot get title. So I don't have to repeat these commands over here like I was repeating earlier. So once the driver is initialized, the functions are same in all the driver classes. You just need to call those functions. If you have to click on a link or something, you can simply click. So you can dynamically launch the browser this way. Okay, right. And then use it. So if I run this code, now the browser is Mozilla. So Mozilla will be taken to BBC. So if I run this, yeah, right. Okay. And if you see this, if I change this simply to Chrome and if I run this, you see Chrome will launch and it will take you to bbc.com. Right. And this is how it works. Okay. If I keep it to Edge, then Edge browser will launch. So simple, it's very simple. Okay, the only thing is that you just have to declare the WebDriver interface reference over here, and based on the browser you will make that reference point towards the implementing class. Anybody with any questions in this, please feel free to ask. Okay, so there are majorly two advantages of interface. One is if a class is implementing an interface, it has to implement all the functions of the interface. So if there are multiple classes implementing the interface, you will come to know that fine, these are the functions in this particular interface which the implementing classes would be having. And the second advantage of interface is that the reference of the interface can be pointed dynamically towards the implementing classes, which we used in Selenium, because WebDriver is an interface and the reference of this WebDriver interface can be dynamically pointing to any implementing class. And with the help of this, we are able to launch the browsers dynamically. And this will be used till the end. This will always be used in Selenium, in the complete scripting, in the complete training, we will be using this. Okay, now the next thing is that once you have launched the browser, then how do you go and interact with the elements on the web page? Okay. In case of Selenium, the elements on the web page are known as web elements. Don't confuse with this with web elements of UFT or QTP if you have studied QTP. Okay, everything on a web page is treated as a web element. This text is a web element. This link is a web element. Okay, any button on the page, anything on the page is basically a web element. And we have a special interface for working with web elements, and that is the interface web element. It basically represents a generic HTML element, a generic element on the web page. Okay, I will talk about it right a little bit. This interface has got functions to interact with the web page. For example, what all interactions you do with the web page on any element. You click on the element, you clear the value of an element, you get the location of the element, you get the tag name, you get the text, whether the element is displayed or not. Fine. Whether it is enabled. Send keys will type something in the element. Submit will submit the form or something. So these are the generic interactions with which you perform on the web page on any element, and these interactions are taken care by the interface web element. Okay, so next thing in our agenda is to help you understand how Selenium works and how it interacts with the elements on the web page. Okay, so technically Selenium will be using this web element interface, but first thing which you need to learn is the HTML. If you right click on any web page, you get the page source option. This is the HTML web page source. This is actually the response from the server. Selenium works on this HTML page source. Okay, it works on this page source. Every web page, even if I go on download links, for example, I look at the page source. Every web page will have a certain page source. Okay, and you need to understand HTML, what it is, what tags are, what attributes are. Okay, how the elements are formed. Okay, so only after that you can actually understand how Selenium interacts with the web page. Okay, so anyone with any questions, I will stop here. Okay, I'll stop the recording as well because